This episode is brought to you by Computer Solutions R Us. Phil and his team hooked us up with all of our computers, and you can do the same for you. Head over to Phil at Computer Solutions R Us and tell him Inside the Game sent you. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Game, your one-stop shop for everything cool in video games. I'm one of your hosts, Drew Bosley. Before we get started, don't forget to head to InsideTheGame.ca, where there you can submit your clip and be a part of the show. Now, coming up on today's episode, Randall and I head off to war. Corey and Nate face degrees of separation. Corey and myself fear the wolves, and the guys are back with more Apex tips. All that and a whole lot more in today's episode, but we only start the show off one way. You know how it goes. Here's the guys with the Inside Scoop.
So the gaming community has got some devastating news with the retirement of Reggie Fils-Aimé. The Nintendo of America's president has officially announced his retirement in April. Working over 15 years to bring Nintendo where it is, it's truly devastating. Nintendo owns a part of my heart forever. It's a part that is filled with gratitude for the incredibly talented people I've worked with, for the opportunity to represent such a wonderful brand, and most of all, to feel like a member of the world's most positive and enduring gamer community. As I look forward to departing in both good health and good humor, this is not a game over for me, but instead a leveling up to more time with my wife, family, and friends.
Paradox Interactive has joined forces with Microsoft to launch Paradox Mods, a modding platform for Xbox One and PC. Starting with Surviving Mars, Xbox One and PC gamers can download and play more than 30 mods across platforms with support for more Paradox titles coming later this year. In addition to Paradox Mods, this update adds mouse and keyboard support for Surviving Mars on Xbox One. This means console players can point and click their way across the Red Planet and establish their very own dome-based society with any controls they prefer.
Have you ever wanted to develop your own video game? Well, you're in luck. A company called Media Molecule is actually bringing out a title for PS4 called Dreams, and it actually allows you to develop your own video game levels. Media Molecule has confirmed that early access will be available this spring to the title. It will not feature 100% of the full version, but it will feature all the tools you will need to have to be able to create content, assets, and levels, etc. It will be available on the PlayStation Store this spring for $40 Canadian.
Ubisoft's announced Special Operation 4 for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ubisoft announced Special Operation 4, the fourth and final update of the Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands' second year of post-launch content. Special Operation 4 will release as a free update across all platforms on February 27th and will introduce a brand new PvE mode, new content for PvP players, community requested features, and more.
We've talked a lot on this show about Nintendo working with Microsoft, and it sounds like rumors could be true. Microsoft might be bringing the Game Pass to the Nintendo Switch, and they might start with Ori and the Blind Forest.
So Ubisoft has announced the full details of Year 4 Season 1. We have 2 new operators, both an attacker and a defender. We have a new map placed in Australia, and a new elite skin for my personal favorite operator, Hibana. With the 2 newer operators, we have the attacker Gridlock and the defender Mozzie. both of which are friends for years in the Australian Special Air Service Regiment Platoon. Gridlock uses track stingers, a portable version of road spikes that, when activated, deploys a hexagonal cluster of spikes. When defenders step on them, the track stingers deal damage and slow them, making this gadget a good map control tool. In the meantime, Mozzie can deploy a pest launcher. When launched, the pest latches onto the nearest enemy drone and obscures its camera. The pest then initiates an override sequence to hack the drone and grant full control to Mozzie.
Gridlock and Mozzie in pursuit. Out. Gridlock, deploy tracks.
All right, Corey, the wolves are howling in this one. All right, Corey, you and I are talking about Fear the Wolves from Vostok Games. I'm definitely curious to hear your review on this one because we've had some issues with this game right from the get-go, the fact that we couldn't even get into the game.
Yeah, well, let's start off with it's a battle royale game.
Yep.
And everybody knows, especially on this show, we've been talking about battle royales like crazy lately.
Oh, man.
Obviously, Fortnite's been a continuing topic for pretty much the duration of our entire show.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Now Apex Legends is involved.
Yep.
And this game actually got re-released or relaunched just a couple days after Apex dropped.
Oh, that was not a
So,
oh, man, not a good move.
For Vostok, not a great time to be launching a battle royale game that doesn't quite meet the expectations that we're looking for right now in this genre, as far as I'm concerned.
So let's get it. So it's a battle royale game, but you're running from the wolves.
Yes.
Radiation.
Yes.
So I like the fact that you're out there, and when you're scavenging around, you need to find the material that once you get into those radiation zones, you can survive in those zones.
Yeah.
And those zones have high loot, which is great. But if a battle royale is supposed to have 100 people, my lobby had 5. I was in,
for me.
Yeah, you're 4, I'm 5. I'm in duos.
Yeah.
Duos. So out of those 5, it's me, my partner. That leaves 3 other people to find on this entire map.
Yeah.
I was like, give me a break, man.
And it's a pretty large map.
It's not small. If
With
you're going to
100
compare
people,
it.
with 100 people, I think it would
crowded.
it would feel tight.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there'll ever be 100 people.
I don't think we have to worry about that. Unfortunately, I tried to play on the NA servers. I tried to play on the European servers just to find a lobby.
Yeah.
I sat on the North American servers. There was 2 of us, me, another guy, and that was it. And I was there for 20 minutes. This game is empty.
Yeah, the only games I've ever gotten into were forced start games. So everybody's voted to just start the game right from the pregame lobby because nobody else is joining in the lobbies.
Oh, so sad.
You know what? This game actually doesn't even look that bad. It's a run on the Unreal Engine, which I was actually kind of excited about when the game starts up. It shows you that. And I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Yep.
Let's see what they got, right? A PC Battle Royale game. I've played mostly console Battle Royale, so I was looking forward to getting into this to just check it out, right? I'm a fan of the genre. But when I hopped in and saw that the community is like 0, like some of the games I couldn't even get into. Like it would send me to the pregame lobby and it would say there was 2 alive and I'd never be able to find the other guy and then the game would never start.
Yeah.
So for me, it was visual, it looked great. And like you said, there's aspects in this one that other games don't have, like these packs of wolves, these irradiated wolves that are around the map. Which, if it wasn't for the wolves, I wouldn't have anything to kill. Because to be honest, the only person I killed other than wolves was one guy in the pregame lobby. Now, let me tell you, it was still exciting, but I want that feeling throughout the entire game, right? And that's just, it's not doing it for me when there's only 4 people in the lobby.
So my partner and I made it to the end. There's only 5 of us, so really I was already at the end.
Yeah,
right?
You were there.
We were there. But the whole idea is as the map shrinks, you got to get to the helo. The helicopter's up above, you get out of that and you bail out.
Yeah.
Right? I got shot by the other guy that was in the lobby.
Exposed when you're trying to climb up into that helicopter.
You got to kill off everybody before you can climb up.
Yeah.
The premise behind Fear the Wolves is fantastic. You got wolves, you got the people, you're there to survive. There's radiation to fight off. There's so much stuff to go out and kind of gather up so you can survive.
Yeah.
but there's just nobody playing.
Nobody playing the game.
How?
I like the
man.
I like the radiation because it wasn't like your typical storm where it's a circle.
Yeah.
The map's actually broken down into a grid, like most Battle Royale maps, but the actual grid squares start to fill up with radiation opposed to an enclosing storm.
Yep.
Which, I mean, the squares did close you in still slightly, but you know, the way it closes in on the map, it was interesting. I like the idea. There was areas where you definitely don't want to be, and then there was partially radiated areas that you could kind of function in, but you need to make sure you get out of that because you can't stay in it for too long with the supplies you get. So, I don't know. This one was tough to get through for me, Drew. Yeah, you know, as a Battle Royale guy, I want to like the game. I like you said, there's a lot of cool aspects with this, but man, it was just like, where's everybody else?
I think, honestly, that's the issue. The game itself, I think, is great. I do enjoy the mechanics of the game, the parts that they're so minor, but yet you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't get into things, into sheds and stuff, because I didn't have an axe. Found an axe, I'm able to bust my way in. Now I can start scavenging in there, work my way around, and then you hear the wolves howl, and you're like, oh man.
I don't have a gun yet.
I got nothing. I don't have time for this, right? And you're just... you're always on the go and you're running. It's just not, you're not hiding.
No, there's no camping in this game. You're always on the move, really. And I mean, obviously it's easy to say you're always on the move because we're always looking for somebody in this game. The only I wasn't really, I know the game's called Fear the Wolves, but I was glad to see them because it was really the only excitement I had other than finding an M16 because I was like, oh man, I found a machine gun.
Yeah.
And I got to use it. But outside of that, it left a lot to be desired.
Unfortunately, yeah, the game is just empty when it comes to the lobby, and that's really where the game suffers, is that the population isn't here for this game to be supported.
It's tough in the genre that it's in to drop a game when they did. The timing was so bad with Apex dropping and that game blowing up.
It was just bad luck, right?
Yeah, but honestly, even if they dropped this game at a better time, I don't know how full these lobbies would be because it doesn't quite make the cut for what Battle Royale is right now.
Sure.
I'm sure it has an audience, but obviously, as we've seen right now, it doesn't. Yeah.
That's the problem. There is no audience right now because there's no one on the servers to populate the game, which is unfortunate because I feel it's a decent game.
It is. It doesn't look bad. The game looks good. The weather effects is something I really enjoy when the rain starts coming in. It covers your screen. Like, things actually looked really good.
Fog gets real thick. It's hard to see.
It took my mind off the fact that there was nobody in the game. I was like, oh, this weather's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And actually, depending on what's happening, whether it's a light rain or a heavy storm, it changes your movement speed, vehicle speed, all that kind of stuff. Those are elements you don't always necessarily see in Battle Royale. So there's all these other things with this game. It just, the one glaringly obvious thing that's wrong with it is that it's an empty map. So if we gotta wrap this one up, Drew, what are you gonna score Fear the Wolves?
I can't fault the developers of the fact that there's no one in the map. I do like the minor things and the details that they paid attention to. The gunplay felt good. The wolves were there. Man, I fear those things when I hear that wolf howl. So yeah, they got me right there. Honestly, I'm sitting at a 5.5.
All right, I feel you with this one. I really do. I think they did make actually a pretty good game as far as the gameplay went and felt. But you know what? They're missing half of that. And they've got half a good game, but the other half is the players that are supposed to be in it. And they don't have it. So half and half, it's going to be a 5 for me.
Fear the Wolves has some nice elements when it comes to the weather effects and the wolf packs scattered around the map. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be anyone on the servers playing, resulting in small match sizes.
Hey, what's up everybody? We are back with another Game On segment. This time we're playing Super Bomberman R by Konami Digital Entertainment. Current standings, I'm with 4, Nate has 3, Corey has 3, Randall taking up the end there with 2.
It's my time!
See if we can square things ahead here, and we're gonna get going into bombing each other here. Don't start this already.
Give me
The elbows are throwing. We're throwing elbows.
All right.
Right, what level? Let's pick a different level.
Yeah.
All right.
That one looks interesting.
Ooh, should we try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
All right, so we gotta get the first 3 stars, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Medieval, this one's called. Oh, I'm player 4.
3.
All right, I'm gonna go black again.
I'm going green again.
Shiny blue.
So I'm black, shiny blue,
Shiny white.
green,
Green.
white. All right.
Green.
Big glistening, guys.
Shiny.
You guys are so pretty.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it. My heart's starting to go.
Actually, as these game ons go, things get like way more on the line.
Yeah.
Way more on the line.
All right, I'm top left.
Top right.
Bottom right.
Bottom left.
All right.
Right now it's just setup time, eh? Oh, you get lost underneath the thing. Oh. Ooh,
Oh.
that's interesting.
Sorry, I yelled into the
Careful,
mic there,
kids.
people.
Oh, I'm gone.
Oh man, I'm gone too.
Oh!
Bring me back, baby. Oh, we just wiped it clean.
Maybe you guys should focus on the guy that seems to be on a streak a bit.
Hey, no, I'm not. You're on a streak.
Let's get him.
1 win streak.
Oh, well, they call it.
1 week streak.
Look at that, look at that.
All right.
Whoa, what happened?
Oh, someone just
Oh,
died.
I didn't even see what was going on there. Oh, that's not good. Does not bode well for my
No, no, no. Oh, I'm stuck. Yeah.
Oh, I'm done too. Man.
All right. Ready, green little burger.
I'm
Oh, I can trap myself. I'm in trouble.
Oh, how'd you get out of that?
I don't even know where the other guy is. There he is.
Oh, I'm still alive?
Yeah, you swapped in.
back.
You swapped
I
in.
came back. I'm alive. Here, hold that, Nate. No!
Oh!
Nice!
You guys are tag teaming me?
No, I didn't.
You guys are just, I didn't even know there was 3 people out here. Blue's just
that
behind.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh no!
Yeah! Get him, get him! Woo! Man, there's a lot of... Oh, no!
Oh, how did that bomb blow up so fast?
Hey, someone just killed me, and I'm dead. How did you, what? That's
Someone's
a thing.
underneath that one on the right.
Oh, I'm back?
Yeah, because you knocked me off somehow.
Yeah! I got one!
So you get back. Okay.
It's the revenge carts, they're called.
Revenge!
So it brings you back.
I thought it was just to knock them out, not to get back in.
Oh, I thought you get back in.
Alright, got train.
Oh!
Okay, I'm at 1, Nate's at 1, Randall and Corey at 0.
Zip.
Oh, I almost killed myself there on that one. What's...
Oh, I'm dead. Oh, no, I'm not.
Guess what you're editing this week?
I'm stuck. Oh, how did you do that? Oh, no. Man, you got me good.
Stupid.
Whoa. No! Hey, how'd you hit the...
Whoa!
How'd you hit the bomb?
You just press X.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
That's how you throw it, kind of.
Oh. Nice. No?
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Oh, no! I'm in the middle!
Oh, Randall.
Randall, guess what?
I'll take it.
All right, Corey, you're the only one with that.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm a revenge cart master, bro.
This is a tricky map, by the way.
It
I'm just saying, like, this is
Once
not.
you disappear, it's hard.
Yeah.
No. Oh my. Oh. Oh, go away. Ooh. Ooh. Woo.
Oh, no, I just touched the edge of that one. Crap. Revenge cart, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I got 2.
I don't understand what happened there.
Well, for me right now. Switch
All
on
right.
strategy.
We
On
gotta.
the left.
Do you have a strategy?
Nope.
Me either. Okay, am I missing something?
Blow him up.
Well, yeah, just blow up stuff.
I like if they showed you underneath the things, like they show the bombs when you got the bombs placed there.
Blew myself up. Man.
How do I get out of here?
Oh god.
You don't, you die. That's how you...
Oh, and I dropped 2 bombs. It's all right, Drew. Keep laughing, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
No! Oh, no, I got myself!
Oh,
So
Alright.
you can't press X on bombs unless you get a power up because I was stuck and I couldn't throw a bomb.
So that's.
That is this week's Game On segment.
Drew for the W.
I snuck in a W on that one. I'll take it. I'm at 5. Corey's at 3. Nate's at 3. Randall, 2. Let's head back to the show.
is burning, casting a shadow. People are watching, waiting for the fall. Tell them something is coming. There's blood in the water. Give them a warning. Let it all come crashing down. Burn the castle to the ground. Hang their lies, no disguise. It's our time. Let it all come down.
All right, Nate, you and I went hands-on with the Marching Fire DLC for For Honor. What do you think of this?
So I'm actually really pumped. So I've been a huge For Honor fan, since the beginning.
Yeah.
I played a lot of it, and then I got upset about it because the servers weren't that great at the time.
Sure.
But then I came back a year later,
Okay.
and then I played for like 5 months straight because it absolutely hooked me again. And I stopped playing again, and now that we got the Marching Fire DLC,
Okay.
I'm completely hooked again.
You're back in, eh?
Yeah.
So I am one who started with the game, completely disappeared, and then we got the Marching Fire DLC from Ubisoft, and I've been kind of back in a little bit, but I'm still. My biggest problem is that I've been away for so long.
Yeah.
Is trying to get reacquainted with how all the fighting mechanics work, because it is not a game you just kind of pick up and play.
It is a very quick, responsive, quick reactive kind of game, right?
Yeah, and I don't really have the quick reaction time I used to. So, if I'm being honest, I really kind of get slaughtered most times. Even against the bots, I was getting hammered.
Yeah, but there's so many characters now, because with the Marching Fire, we got 4 new heroes, which is, we hadn't seen heroes in a long time.
Yeah.
Until Marching Fire had come out. So that was really exciting.
That's
And
nice.
With new characters comes new combos you have to learn how to counter.
Yeah.
And that's again where it's just like it's really tough, but this game, after you get through that little bit of learning curve, there is massive payoff because it is so addicting.
Well, I found even jumping back into the game that the whole game format completely changed on me. I didn't know where I was going, what I was looking for. Eventually, I fumbled my way into a match. So it was just kind of like, man, I've been away too long.
Yeah, so with the Marching Fire, they completely revamped the armor system because it used to be, I don't want to say an RPG, but kind of like an RPG, and you used to really, all the armor had different perks, so they completely revamped that.
Okay.
Now attackers have certain perks, and defending classes have certain perks, and assassins, so it's confusing as anything to try and get a fully geared or fully equipped hero.
Right.
Because there's just so much math to do now. That is one thing that kind of upset me. Why not just do a 3, a 2, and a 1 system instead of like a 300 and a 120 and a 220?
What?
But aside from that, it took me a while to get my hero finally maxed out because I play as a peacekeeper and I had to get the best gear.
What level?
33? No, 33. I'm like prestige 60 something.
So you've been playing, right?
I've played it a lot, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are quadruple that. But.
Well, yeah, some of the people have played it from day one and they haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Some of us played day one, then stopped, and now we're trying to get back into the swing of things. We're trying to come back after being away. Man, that's really hard. It really is hard to get back into the swing of things, to get an understanding of now all the new layout, all the new armor bases, and all the stats that go with all this now, and try to figure all that out. I really want to sink my teeth into it, but it's really kind of pushing me out.
But so here's the thing. Since it's tough, with the Marching Fire DLC, they have an entirely new training and they completely revamped the training because before it was very basic and you basically had to play the game in order to actually figure out combos and how people played.
Right.
So with the training now, it's very, very customizable. You can tweak your enemies to do certain combos or however many enemies, and that feature right there was a huge improvement for Honor with the Marching Fire.
So you're saying I should probably just go back into the training?
It might be, honestly, it's a good idea because even for me, man, like I play as the assassin, who's one of the tougher characters to block with, and it's like I'm rusty. Usually when I hop in, I usually get wrecked for the first couple matches until my 400 microsecond reaction time's there.
All right, right, Nate, so the Marching Fire brought in arcade mode, which is new this year.
Yeah, which is a great addition because before all there was your daily bounties and then your bi-daily bounties, I guess you could say.
Yeah, sure.
And that was your kind of way to get steel in the game and experience. But now they have arcade mode, which has its own kind of, not bounties, but they have their own
challenges?
Rewards system. So
Sure.
if you play on a lighter difficulty, so if you wanted to play on a new character, they have a level 1 challenge mode. And then for me, since I have a maxed out character, they have the hardest one, which
Right.
again, I can get more rewards. So there's a lot of way to get steel just within the arcade mode.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and it actually it spices it up a bit because there's all the modifiers in it. So
Sure.
one of the matches, for instance, I had to take out 2 of these guys and they both had burning swords.
Yeah.
And then I was taking fire damage already over time, so it's like you had to go and get them really quick. So
Sure.
it just, sometimes I spent half an hour on one of the challenges, but
Yeah.
you know, of course it progressively gets harder, but all in all, it is a great addition to the game.
Well, that's cool. They also brought in Breach, which is a new PvP mode.
Yes, so this is a big thing. Dominion has pretty much been the staple of For Honor, besides
sure has.
dueling, of course.
Yep.
But for an 8-player kind of experience, they added Breach. So it's like basically a castle siege mode that's in 3 sort of stages.
Right.
And the attacking team has 24 lives to start.
Yep.
And your objective is to push the battering ram through the first gate. And then once you get through the first checkpoint,
Yes.
you then gain, I'm not sure exactly how many lives, but you gain a certain amount of lives back.
Okay.
And then you again start the second wave, which you push the battering ram even further. But in this, they kind of have these mobile features where you have to take out the archers because the archers are shooting at your defending soldiers.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's great.
It's a nice addition. They've really started to craft For Honor into a much bigger and broader experience.
Yeah, and that's honestly, like, people were completely caught off guard when Marching Fire was announced because For Honor was, was pretty quiet, and then it was just before E3. They're like, "We have a big announcement coming," and everyone's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, 4 new heroes, new game type, 2 new game types, sorry," and
It's been good.
Yes.
It's been a lot of fun, a lot to get into. So why don't you guys go check out Marching Fire?
Your team is breaking.
All right, so guys, game development is hard. And we are talking about Sea of Thieves a year later because when Sea of Thieves initially launched, it may have been a little empty.
A little bit.
All right, so now we go in because we periodically will jump back into the world of Sea of Thieves, and every time we jump in, there just always seems to be more in the world of Sea of Thieves, and it just kind of keeps wanting to pull me in, and then we get burned by some scullies, and I'm back out again. But that's a whole other topic. But either way, what do you guys think of Sea of Thieves now, a year later?
Wow. So this game has completely, I don't want to say completely changed, but
It has almost
kinda has
completely
completely
changed. Let's be
changed,
honest,
honestly.
right?
Yeah, I agree. I'll say because I don't play it as much as you guys do. I played it at launch.
Yeah.
Took a huge break from it because there was some content issues with the game being a little empty and maybe not as many people on the seas as you would hope.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell out of favor with that game for a little while because there's other things to play. But we've hopped on recently, and let me tell you, for me, totally different. This is a completely new game at this point for me. Whether it's new areas of the map like the Devil's Roar, or just the Megalodon. So these are all aspects of the game I was never a part of when they first launched. And for me, it's still a super fun game to play.
Man. It has gotten so much more fun now because I played it close to launch. I didn't play right at launch, but I started to play it and it was just empty. There was basically you just go either collect treasure, or skulls, or collect chickens.
Which was great for a few hours, and then I'm like, I don't want to do this again.
It was a really great idea, but it was just empty. But now, since they've done the Hungering Deep DLC, they got the Forsaken Shores DLC, there's an account, I can't even count or begin to name all the different, DLCs that they've dropped.
Yeah.
Which
They've had quite a few.
Evolved this game because now it's like everywhere you go, you pick up another quest, you find some other random piece of loot, or whatever. Like, it's so fun. Every time you go to an island with that you're not even supposed to go to, there will be loot there. I promise you.
Well, the coolest thing is, once you bought the game, that is it. I haven't had to pay for the Forsaken Shores or any other DLC. It's just
no cosmetics.
Nothing. It's just in the game. And away you go. You grind the crap out of the game.
Yeah, you do.
To get those cosmetics. But that's the
not
purpose
even
of
that
Sea of
bad
Thieves.
now,
That's the style of
You
the
know what I
game,
mean?
right?
Exactly.
That's the way it's supposed to be played. Is this kind of not forever grind, but it's you're going on quests continually, whether it's for skeletons or skulls or whatever.
Yeah.
And the grind is real, and some of the stuff is super expensive to purchase, especially when it comes to purchasing things for your boat.
Yep.
But the grind becomes that much more satisfying when you can purchase those things with the gold that you get. And because, let me tell you, this game is unforgiving still. If there's one thing that hasn't changed since when I played this game when it first came out to a year later.
Still a pirate sim.
Yes, very much so. And if you're not doing your job, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Or you're getting drunk in the bottom of the boat and come up to help and it's a little too late.
We all have our own stories.
But that's the great aspect of Sea of Thieves is every time you go in, you come out with a story.
Oh yeah, it's
you
a
create
blast.
your own stories within this game in your adventures.
It's mind-blowing that there is no story in this game.
But we could just keep playing it.
But yeah, we still keep coming back. And a year later, we are back in. And I'm hooked. Like, I love coming back in the world of Sea of Thieves because you never know what you're going to experience. Megalodon shows up out of nowhere. The Kraken comes up out of nowhere.
Which they've revamped the Megalodon.
Yeah.
It started off with just one, and now there's there's five different Megalodons. They've completely reworked the Kraken.
Yes.
So that experience was cool to begin with.
Yeah,
now
that was my favorite part of the original experience was the Kraken. It was so much fun.
It was so rare, though.
Oh, yeah, but like now it's more frequent, and they have geared towards the Kraken, which is really cool.
They did. That was a time thing, and then they took it out. But I got the Kraken peg leg.
Yeah, with all these DLC drops, if you miss the content, that you can repurchase it usually back. They'll do it later on in a different way, but you can always get repurchase that gear.
It's just so cool that all you're doing is going out to get loot to upgrade either your pirate, I say upgrade, cosmetically upgrade your pirate or your ship, and that is it.
But let's get real here. You gotta look good to get the good stuff, right? So you want to dress your pirate up to make him look as much like a pirate or her as much like a pirate as you can, right?
Yeah.
So for me, this game's still so much fun to play because even though we're going and grinding the same type of challenge or the same type of quests all the time, like you said, every time you play, you've got a different story. You create your own story. We were playing the other night, and we had been doing a bunch of looting. We had been playing for about an hour and a half, and man, we were having a blast. Like, it was a good time, and it's been a while since we've all kind of played together like that.
Yeah.
And we had a really good time, and on our way back to drop all the stuff off, we got attacked by a skelly ship.
And somebody was drinking.
Yeah, somebody was getting into the grogs below deck, and before we know it, I've got puke all over my screen, and I can't shoot the cannons at the skelly ship because I can't see anything. And before we know it, we're sinking, and then we lost all our stuff. But I can honestly say is, as upset as you get when that stuff happens, you just laugh about it because this game's so much fun.
Yes.
How many games have we played where you go and you grind the same thing and the same thing and the same thing, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
No.
And you just call it quits. Sea of Thieves, you're doing the same thing and the same thing and the same thing, but we still go back to do it because it's just that enjoyable to go out and figure out what's going to happen next.
Well, they support the game, and that's a huge difference, right? So they're coming out with these DLCs. So people, yeah, you might get real upset if you're grinding for 4 hours and lose all that stuff. So you might put the game down for a while.
Yeah.
But then when they drop these DLCs, it makes you want to get back into it because now they're changing parts of this game that, you know, the monotony does need to be broken, and they do that.
Yep.
So that's what makes this game fun to jump back into all the time, whether, you know, you're getting skeletons or you're getting pigs or chickens or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's what makes this game fun, and with them supporting it the way they do, I think that's why this game's still playable a year later.
But getting back to the grind, they have cut down the grind huge in this game for when it first came out, because the prices on everything,
Oh my goodness.
oh, they were ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
And the loot was a lot harder to, you know, come by.
Yeah.
It was a tough grind when the game first dropped. I never thought I was going to be able to buy anything because I wasn't
no.
getting enough for the missions I was doing and the time I was putting in to get that stuff. So it's nice to see that they've made adjustments there so the grind is more enjoyable than, you know, kind of a distant light, you know, where you're thinking, it's there, but I don't know if I'm ever going to reach it kind of thing. They've made it attainable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Rare's really paying attention to their community, and they're listening to what aspects of the game they want changed and what we want them to change and kind of help fix, and it just keeps growing. Like, we were on the other night, and the sea was populated. Like, there were galleons.
There was people everywhere.
There's sloops everywhere. I'm like, man, I haven't seen the sea this full in a long time. We battled up a couple of them.
Our sailing abilities maybe not as sharp as they used to be.
Oh, man, it's a little rough,
We
eh?
did okay though, but let me tell you, we are one heck of a band, boys. We can definitely play some music while we're sailing those seas.
I would love to see some new instruments, though. I'd like to see that. Oh no, that's no.
Well,
for Nate.
it would fit in. It would fit in. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something.
And of course, you can see it on Game Pass too. So if you have Game Pass, just jump in and check it out.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's not a huge download either. I think it's about 12 gigs right now. So
you're looking at 10 to 11 gigs between there. But if you have an Xbox One X, it's 25 gigs because you get the beautiful package.
It's nice.
Yes,
I'll tell you.
this game is so beautiful. It was pretty at launch, and it's somehow gotten even better.
yeah, it looks great.
It's fantastic. We love Sea of Thieves. So why don't you guys check it out too? All right, Randall, we're heading to the desert.
Let's do it.
All right, Randall, you and I jumped into the desert, and we are fighting off what I kind of felt like one of the original Call of Duties, but set in the Middle Eastern. This is Insurgency Sandstorm by New World Interactive. What do you think of this title?
You know, I have to be honest, for a beta, it kind of met some of my expectations, and it didn't meet a couple of them. You know, it was a really neat concept how they were taking, you know, kind of like that classic skirmish in the Middle East where you have like certain, like, I don't want to use any particular nationalities, but you know, they're fighting against each other, and it's very much a Middle Eastern setting. You can tell by the way that the game goes, and
yep, absolutely.
You know, like you said, it really felt like a Call of Duty because like you have a different list of weapons, and you have a different list of like different sort of like classes you can add to weapons and classes to your character and what have you. So it was I don't know, it was different. Like, it was a different take on it. I really enjoyed it, actually.
I had a great time. Actually, I really enjoyed myself with this one. I felt like the original Call of Duty. Do you remember when Call of Duty was set like in World War times, right?
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it was that, but it was it's a multiplayer setting. So you could either go co-op and play with your buddies, or you can go in and do like your typical team deathmatch, or you take over certain points and you kind of own those points, and you build your team around that. But there's so many classes you kind of pick and choose, and they all work with each other, and the radio's clicking in and out. I had fantastic teams I was playing with, so the radio chatter on that honestly, that made the game for me.
It really does, actually, because like it's a really neat take on like how you have the radio chatter. You don't have it in other games where like, you know, you go here, oh, we gotta go here, we gotta get here really fast, we gotta do this, and there's a really big sense of urgency. Like, you actually feel like you're in like a war zone, which is kind of missing in other games in the same kind of category. For me.
There was a lot of tension built within this game, and you work with your teammates, but you coordinate, and it felt like, I'm going to date myself a little bit. We're going with Future Soldier, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, right? Okay. So, but on that game, when you did your multiplayer, it was all about team coordination and working together. And that's one of the things I love about a multiplayer, if it's done correctly, is the fact that all your teammates work as a unit. And that's how this works, is you pick certain operators that will coincide and work with one another, and then you're calling out to the commander, and you're radioing in for smoke, and you're calling in for this, and you're calling in for that. And everybody's there to help each other. And if somebody's missing an operator, someone's asking, like at least my team was asking, okay, can someone pick up this and work with me and we can go here and that, and you're taking over this objective and moving on to that objective.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. I absolutely had a blast playing this game.
Yeah, military strategy is definitely a very common theme in this game. How you said, like you were talking about, like different operators having different tasks. You actually felt like you're actually in that war zone, and you just feel so encompassed with what's happening. And I unfortunately didn't have the same sort of experience that you did, because I was only able to get onto a European server, and I couldn't actually understand what people were saying over the radio.
That'll have a little different outcome.
No fault to anybody else's, because that's my own fault. But it was still a lot of fun. Like I had a really good time playing the game. So
nice.
So overall, it's a really good experience. The only thing I can say, and keep in mind, it is a beta stage.
Yes.
I felt that the gameplay was a little bit spongy for my liking. I didn't really feel there was a bit of a really clean flow through for me.
Yep.
Graphically, it was okay, but I also have to keep telling myself, it's in beta stage, so they're not gonna make it look pretty yet, because I want to make sure the gameplay is there and the mechanics are working and everything.
The focus right now for the developers is to make sure that the game mechanics are working properly. Everybody's throwing smoke out, right? So cover your guys are choking and coughing and hacking and stuff, but you can see the outline of the smoke.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't see the pixelated. Right. It's not done perfectly yet. It's not polished.
No.
But that's why it is a beta, and this is a stage we're at.
Yep.
But it allows us to get into the game, get a feel for what we're kind of in for. And so far, I'm really digging what I got here.
And it's a really cool experience, and it is for PC, so they are going to get there. The graphics, I have no doubt, will be really clean, really crisp. Will definitely kick PUBG's butt out of the water as far as gameplay goes, but that's just personal opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. It is coming to consoles they said in 2019, so right now PC beta only.
Yep.
But Randall, if you're to wrap up a beta, early access beta of Insurgency Sandstorm, what are you giving this one?
I think I'll be fair, and I'll probably give it about a 5 because it is in beta.
See, I'm a little higher, guys. I had a great time, and a lot of good teammates out there, and that chatter really sold it for me on this game. I'm there with the 7.
Insurgency Sandstorm is a thrilling co-op first-person shooter with realistic military-style strategy, radio-call-based roles, and real-world style gameplay. A welcome new addition to enemies.
All right, Nate, it's a little hot, it's a little cold. Let's check out Degrees of Separation. All right, Nate, this week we're talking about Degrees of Separation from Moondrop, side-scrolling puzzle game. What do you think?
I actually really liked it, man. So this game had a really interesting take. You have 2 characters that you play as, Rhyme and Ember, which they're both in kind of 2 different worlds. It's kind of hard to explain, but you're in basically 2 different dimensions where they can see each other.
Yeah.
And Rhyme, which is the male character, he is in like a frozen cold world.
Like a winter kind of land.
Yeah, it's like a winterland. Whereas Ember, she's in like this, I don't know if it's like deserty, but just like hot, like
a summer kind of, like it's a summer winter vibe with
exactly.
these 2.
So they somehow connect with each other, and throughout this whole game, it's being narrated as you're walking.
Yeah,
along.
it's like they're telling you you're playing through a story the entire time.
Yeah, it was again like another interesting take because you don't get that very often. So it's a sappy kind of love story.
It is definitely a love story for sure.
And it came out just before Valentine's Day, which is fitting. So.
Yeah, it definitely fits the time of year.
So
So the general premise of this game is a puzzle side-scroller where the two characters are actually on the hunt for these scarf items, like a scarf you wear around your neck. And you got to collect a certain number to unlock certain doorways to achieve different areas of the map as you move through this game. And the real cool thing about this game that I've never seen before is both characters, because they live in a separate world, but they're together on screen, the screen's actually split depending on where the characters are. So Rhyme has his snowy side and Ember's got her kind of summery, hotter side. So depending on how the puzzles go, you have to move these characters around the screen to achieve certain things, because in winter, you know, parts of the map are going to do a certain thing, whether up or down, left or right. And when you get into the summer phase of things, that's when, you know, Ember's powers come into effect, where now things are going to move in an opposite direction because it's, you know, opposite of winter. So that makes some of these puzzles kind of challenging, especially if you're playing this game alone. But what I like about this game is that you can jump in as co-op, couch co-op, so you can control Rhyme and someone else control Ember, or vice versa. And that's really where this game shines, I think.
So another thing that really stands out about this game is the music.
Yeah, the soundtrack was great.
Yeah, man. They really put the music with the scenery just perfect, man.
It's a very calm setting this entire time. Like there isn't, you know, there is no really feeling of, you know, distress or anything like that when you get into some of these puzzles. So the way they kind of really relate that with the music, I thought.
Yeah, they did a really good job. And honestly, it's kind of surprising was the title screen had a really great soundtrack, man. I listened to it a lot, man. It's kind of sad. So another great thing is the graphics with this.
Yes.
We talked about the soundtrack, and honestly the soundtrack really complements the graphics with this game.
Yeah, very unique art style in this. It's not a cartoony look to it. It's very, almost looks like it's painted. Yeah. I thought on the television when I was watching it. It's a very beautiful looking game, and the music goes along with how you play this game and how it looks. Everything kind of really fits that way.
Yeah.
And as far as a puzzler goes, I mean, I'm not huge into side-scrolling puzzlers, and the whole love story thing, maybe for me, didn't really suit right at the beginning, but you know what? It's a well-made game. People are definitely going to jump into this if they're into the side-scrolling puzzle-style games, and they're going to love this right out the gate. And the fact that you can play it with somebody else locally makes it even that much more fun. Because I was playing by myself, and it's fun to switch between the characters, but I could definitely see how some of the puzzles could be a little bit easily solved, or easier solved, if you had somebody else there helping you along the way, so you're not sitting there, you know, moving one guy to one spot and then switching over, maybe moving to another area. It makes it a little more difficult, right?
It does add extra time if you're playing by yourself, but the transition with when you're moving your characters, it really hit me in a good spot, man.
Yeah.
It's like, because when it's ice and then you transition to the snow,
it's seamless, right?
The summer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the ice melts, the snow melts. It's really, really.
They did a really good job. It's not like, you know, it's not like they just got one straight line down and it's switching as you go. Depending on where the characters are, this line actually moves around the screen 360 degrees, depending on where you have the characters positioned. And they can actually never physically touch each other, I guess, which is kind of part of this whole love story thing. You know, they're trying to figure out why they can't coexist together in one world. But it does make this game a little more fun, and it adds to the whole visual appeal of it.
So you know me, I am a stickler for the microtransactions and the price of games. So this game is actually under $25.
Yep.
So that, I thought, was an awesome addition to our puzzler.
Yeah, it's a really good price point for the kind of game you're getting. It's not a huge game by any means. I think the total time game time is about 10 hours, they said. So it's fun in that sense, and for that price, I think you and somebody else can have a blast playing this game.
All right, Corey, so what are you going to score degrees of separation?
All right, for me, like I said, I'm not huge into this genre, but I really enjoyed the gameplay, and I think the puzzles can be difficult enough for one person, let alone having two people play as well. But the art style was beautiful, the sound of the game was awesome. Like you said, the title screen, you could almost just sit on the title screen. So you know what? For me, I'm going to give Degrees of Separation a 7.5.
Awesome, man. I'm right there with you with a 7.5.
With a cool, heartwarming story, this side-scrolling puzzler has a very creative take on the genre. Its great music, complemented by calm scenery, really brings a nice low stress level to the game. It's also priced appropriately, and we recommend this title.
Keep an eye.
Subject spotted.
Always have an eye out around you while looting. It's easy to get sidetracked grabbing all the goodies, so always keep a mindful eye to your surroundings.
Revive.
I am down.
Always try and bring your squad back. Whether it's for the revive or to grab the revive banner, always try and bring them back. If you end up in somehow surviving till the end of the match, which most people don't solo, you're going to be lucky. So you better bring those squad mates back so you don't get that aggro at the end of the game.
Enemy down.
Weapon selection. In my opinion, having two of the same ammo type really helps item management. You don't always have to get high-level backpack or even one at all for a while, and carrying one ammo type helps. But more importantly is choosing your weapons around your squad mates. Having long-range and close-range weapons is always a good combo, but having one squad mate with close to medium range while the other two both have a sniper is also good.
Using grapple.
Let's explore this way.
Balloons and grapplings are OP. Always try to be around grappling hooks and or air balloons when bunkering down. These tools give you the ability to scout the area, leave the area in a hurry, quickly move around the map, relocate yourself, flanking enemies, and more.
Zipline here.
New kill leader.
We got ourselves a new kill leader.
Attention, the champion has been eliminated.
Zipline here.
Yeah, the champion just fell. Copy that.
Death boxes. The color of a death box will tip you off to what kind of loot is inside. If the death box is purple, the highest item, whether a weapon or attachment, will be purple, so keep an eye out. Healing. Shield and med packs are all over the map. You can apply them while moving, so don't get caught with low health.
Looks like we took out the kill. Enemy over there. Took out an enemy.
That kill was satisfying.
Grappling. The ring is in close proximity. I am repairing myself. Recharging shields.
Only one other squad left.
All right, Nate, so that's this week's top 6 tips for Apex Legends.
Death box over there. Frag out. Throwing Arc Star. Throwing Arc Star. Arc Star out. Arc Star out. Throwing Arc Star.
Hostile over there.
Beginning ring countdown.
I am taking fire, friends. Recharging shields.
Danger move.
I am down.
This won't hurt. Hold on.
Good looking out. Using grappling. I am repairing. I am taking fire, friends. I have been downed. Contact with hostile.
Enemy down.
All right, Corey, that's it. That's another episode in the books. Now, each and every week, you guys head to InsideTheGame.ca, where there you submit your clips and become a part of the show. Who do we have this week?
This week we got Motive Money 25 with a team wipe in Rainbow Six Siege. Let's check it out.
Op 4 last operator standing. The diffuser is now secured. Op 4 neutral.
All right, Mickey.
All right, Lou.
All right, it's a new dawn.
Yes, it's a new dawn. Nailed it.
Has hit. I know. Here's the speed bump.
Yes.